Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Board of Public Works and Safety special meeting for November 20th, 2024. If we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to welcome to our meeting today our Director of Public Works, Ms. Rachel Caesar. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Let's confirm quorum by roll call of attendance, please.
Sure. Member Green,
Present.
Member Allen,
Present.
Secretary Morgan,
Present.
Vice President Dumas, and President Suggs.
Here.
Mr. President, the attendance is 4 present and 1 absent.
With 4 members present, we have a legal meeting. Let's start with item number 3 on our agenda, approval of the minutes for our November 12th and our November 13th meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes for our November 12th and our November 13th meetings.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that the meeting minutes for November 12th and 13th are to be approved. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes have been approved. Let's move on to item 4 on the agenda, claims.
Mr. President, we have before us claims to be paid on November 22nd, 2024. General fund is $179,569.73. Special revenues including motor vehicle highway, local roads and streets, health and human services, SAPS grant, landfill closure, vehicle auction, community development grant, law enforcement training grant, clerk perpetual fund, immunization billing grant, court, green urbanism grant, solid waste grant, HIV prevention grant, COVID-19 health grant, Do It non-reverting fund, joint public service training, fire capital equipment, and workers' comp and unemployment benefits. Totals $123,704.99. We also have ambulance non-reverting, public safety income tax, local development agreement for casino, neighborhood stabilization program, foreclosure grant, redevelopment, auxiliary non-reverting fund, Marquette Park, fire pension fund, and police pension fund. Total $114,711.48. Total claims to be paid on November 22nd, $417,986.20.
I'll entertain a motion for claims to be approved, to be paid on November 22nd, 2024.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded for claims to be paid for November 22nd, 2024. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may I have a roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas, and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no's.
With a vote of four yes and 0 objection, the claims for November 22nd, 2024 have been approved.
We also have before us ratification of claims, pension payroll, $5,350, and general fund and lakefront claims of $96,015.
I'll entertain a motion for ratification for claims.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we pay ratification of claims. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas, and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 objections, claims for ratification of claims has been approved for payment. Let's move on to correspondence and agreements, please.
Mr. President, first, and I should have done this at the beginning of the meeting, I have a contract for Landmark Sign Group that we would need to amend the agenda to hear. So at this time, I make a motion that we amend our agenda to include the First Amendment to the contract for Landmark Sign Group.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we amend the agenda to include landmark signs. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. President, first I have the First Amendment to the contract with Landmark Sign Group. We entered into a contract with them with effective date of November 12th of this year. The original contract was for an amount not to exceed $10,460. This addendum would increase the not to exceed amount by a little bit under $300. It would increase it to $10,710 and will be effective immediately. So I move that we approve the First Amendment to the, and one other thing, that approximately $300 increase is below the 20% threshold for change orders. So I move that we amend the contract to raise the not to exceed amount to $10,710. That's my motion.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and has been properly seconded to increase the not to exceed amount to $10,710 for landmark signs. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas, and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 objections, the contract not to exceed $10,710 for landmark signs has been approved.
Mr. President, next we have a settlement agreement from the Law Department. The case is Malcolm Manuel and Alexis Perkins versus City of Gary. It was case number 45DO2-2206-CT-586. And they were seeking damages in the amount of $350,000 from the city. The settlement is for an amount, a total amount of $125,000, with $25,000 of that going to Alexis Perkins and $100,000 going to Mr. Manuel. We believe that this is a fair resolution of this case. Neither party admits fault in this matter, and so I move that we approve the settlement of the lawsuit Manuel and Perkins versus City of Gary for $125,000.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the settlement of the lawsuit for Manuel and Perkins in the amount of $125,000. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may I have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas, and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, next we have the First Amendment to
Just
the...
for your second, with a vote of 4 yes
Oh,
and
sorry.
0 objections, motion carries.
All right,
Thank you.
sorry for jumping ahead. Okay, so next we have a contract for professional services with the Phoenix Nicholas Center, LLC. The Phoenix Nicholas Center has a contract with the city to help develop the plan and do the infrastructure build out for the city's new behavioral health center, as described in the previous contract. This contract is for $62,400. They will consult at the rate of $100 an hour for those services. So I move that we approve this amendment to the contract for professional services for $62,400 total, with the hourly rate being $100 an hour.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the contract for the Phoenix Nichols Center professional service contract in the amount of $62,400 to be paid at the rate of $100 an hour. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may I have a roll call for approval, please?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
Yes.
Secretary Morgan,
Yes.
Vice President Dumas, and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 objection, the motion carries.
Okay, and,
Excuse me. I just have a question. I'm sorry. I was just kind of reading through this slowly. So for the amendment of the contract, is this contract with the health department?
yes,
Okay, so it's coming out of the monies for,
and that's, let me go back to that. So the QC 40, is fund, and I hope this answers your question. I don't know what the fund numbers are, but 2487, Department 2103, and account 43110. And it is Health Department. Does
okay.
that,
That's ARPA, mobile unit.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Is that acceptable? Is that,
I can look at it when I get back to the office.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So, is it your recommendation that we accept it pending you reviewing it and making sure that the funds are coming out of the
We can
right?
accept it pending.
Okay.
I just want to make sure the funds are still there.
All right. I'm gonna change my motion.
Okay, so I've got 2 documents here.
Right, and one, and maybe we should have done this as one document, so I apologize for that, and we'll fix that in the future. We have one for the dollar amount, with the 62,400, and then the next is an amendment that gives it more time, whereas originally it was through October 31st. This would extend their services until December 31st of this year.
So let's revise the motion on the dollar amount.
Yes, and then we'll visit the one on time. In the
Yes.
future, we'll just have it as one document.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, so I'm revising my motion on the contract for professional services with the Phoenix Center. My motion now is that we approve the contract for the Phoenix Nicholas Center LLC to consult on the city's behavioral health department to help develop the infrastructure and do the build out for our behavioral health department, and that this approval is pending a review and the approval of the finance department to verify the funds.
The revised motion is to approve this contract pending the approval of finance from the finance department. Is there a second on this motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, can we have roll call for?
Member Green,
Yes.
Member Allen,
December 31st, 2024. So my motion is that we approve the extension of time for the Phoenix Nicholas Center. The previous term was June to October. My motion is that we approve the extension to the last day of the year, December 31st, 2024.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the amended contract with the dates of June 21st through December 31st, 2024. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Do we have any discussion on this matter?
No, just that in the future, we'll, the law department try to put things in one document so the board is clear of what we're doing, and in the future, it'd be easier to just locate the one document as opposed to having 2 and 3 documents that accomplish things that could be done easier.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
I just want to have a question to make sure.
Yes.
So the first amendment, which was ended on October 31st, 2024, is now December 31st, 2024.
Right. Yeah.
And then this contract is for next year,
It's for-
January 25, we have to use December, June.
That is confusing. Term of the contract. I wish we had somebody from the department to explain it. Because again, I didn't even catch the date on the first document.
I mean, it makes sense to me, I'm just asking for clarity, because about this time, we need to start doing our contracts for next year. So I'm thinking that this was an amendment from 24.
That, right, and if you look at the plain language, I believe you're right, but we're gonna have to, just moving forward, do this in a more organized way, and, so, I think she's correct. I also think we can move forward with that clarification. So,
So, any more discussion on this matter? Okay, hearing no further discussion, may we have roll call for approval?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
yes.
Vice President Dumas? And President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 objections, the motion carries.
That concludes correspondence from the Law Department, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Mr. President, we have correspondence, excuse me, from the engineering department.
Yes.
First, we have additional streetlight materials, the purchase of them is dash part 1. This is for the fixtures for citywide. Part 2 will be the reserve poles that will have in stock just in case of emergencies and poles needing to be replaced in the future. Just for clarification. Memo reads, engineering department has received quotations from VSI Ltd., subsidiary of Will Group, for the purchase of streetlight materials from Electrical Resource Management, or ERM. We have 744 LED Cobra heads at a cost of $351,331.68, and then 496 LED fixtures in the amount of $324 and $324,962.12, which brings us a total of $676,293.80 for the purchase of LED fixtures for citywide lights. Also attached, we have the sole proprietor original equipment manufacturer claim sheet. We get all of our fixtures from the same source for our streetlights, for majority of them. We do have different material out in the Miller area. They have concrete poles around the Marquette area. But this is our sole source vendor. And we have the contract that accompanies the memo and the quotations. At this time, I would like to make a motion that we accept the contract between VSI and the city in the amount not to exceed $676, $293. I keep saying that wrong. $676,293.80.
I second that motion.
There's a motion on the floor to accept the quote from the Will Group, VSI Ltd. subsidiaries of the Will Group, in the amount of $676,293.80. Any discussion on that motion?
Was there a second? Sorry.
I thought you motioned, Carlos second.
Okay. Additional discussion is next week we'll have part 2, and that'll be for the poles, and that'll be for the reserved collection of poles in case they get knocked down from weather or accidents to be stored in the city, and that will complete the lighting project.
So, question for me,
Sure.
because aesthetically I'm horrible, but I'm seeing gray fixtures overheads and black finishes, is that what we have currently out there?
No, we don't have any. The only black fixtures that we have right now is a small stretch on Broadway. We're going to be doing more black fixtures throughout the city. Gray fixtures as well. It just depends on where you are in the city.
Okay, so we have particular business communities that we're going to aesthetically put the gray or black
Correct.
fixtures within. Okay. Any further questions
Or information.
or discussion? Hearing none,
That's about it.
can we have roll call for approval?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 objections, the motion carries.
Next, we have bid opening for 2024-2025 citywide streetlight installation. Unfortunately, we did not receive any bids. So at this time, I would like to make a motion that we close the bidding portion for this so that I can solicit quotes to come back at the next Board of Works meeting with pretty much a selected vendor.
I second that.
There's a motion on the floor to close the bid process.
Yeah.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have a roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Member Allen?
Yes.
Secretary Morgan?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas and President Suggs.
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 4 yes and 0 no's.
With a vote of 4 yes and 0 objections, the motion carries.
Next, we have a bid opening for 2025 asphalt and concrete work. And I guess as I'm opening this, dang. Okay.
Can you state who that is?
They made sure
Mr.
this was
Allen?
sealed. This is from Reith and Riley Construction Company, Inc., located at 7500 West Fifth Avenue.
Thank
in
you.
Gary, Indiana. I'll do it from the bottom because. Okay, so the intent for this project was to reach out to vendors, qualified vendors, to do miscellaneous concrete and asphalt work throughout the city for the year 2025 by establishing unit rates and establishing a budget. So vendors submitted these bids, I believe based off of a $3 million budget to do asphalt and concrete work. So that includes sidewalks being replaced and repaired, curb, asphalt patching, with and without base. We also have ADA ramps, and then aprons for alleys. And I can go through each line item, but I mean, pretty much we just wanted to get their unit rates and then determine the quantities and locations at a later time when they become known for the year 2025.
And for the purpose today, you're just formally accepting the bids.
I'm formally, yes, acknowledging the submissions, and then
Submissions.
we'll come back at the next meeting to approve or accept the unit rates for 2025.
So how many bids did you get?
We received 2.
Okay, so you'll make a recommendation?
Yes.
Okay,
To either move forward, with the unit rates for 2025 or not
okay,
at the next meeting.
okay.
So I just want to just read into the record like who submitted,
Yes,
and then we'll review the unit rates and then come
Yes,
back
sir.
with a recommendation.
thank you.
So again, for the record, first submission is from Reith and Riley Construction Company, located at 7500 West Fifth Avenue, Gary, Indiana. And then next we have for the 2025 citywide concrete and asphalt work, Milestones Contractors LP, located at 1700 East Main Street, Griffith, Indiana. And then again, this is milestones unit rates for concrete and asphalt repair work for the year 2025. After establishing a budget of up to $3 million for this project. And at the next Board of Works meeting, the engineering department will come back with a recommendation whether we accept the two unit prices. For the record, besides Reith and Riley and Milestone, we had R&D Construction, Pintos Concrete, and Timmy G's Concrete request bids for this project,
But they had no submission.
but they have no submission. Okay, so moving on to our last bid opening, which is for the 2025 traffic signal repair work. Oh, I'm sorry. For the interested folks and vendors, they can take a look at the submitted documents at the end of the meeting. You just can't leave, the room with them, but you feel free to check it out. Okay, the last bid opening that we have is for 2025 traffic signal repair work, and this is from Midwestern Electric. And I'll open it so I can give an address. Located at 1620 East Chicago Avenue, in East Chicago, Indiana. Okay, I'll just read we have 13 line items. I'll just read them out individually. And this is also for unit prices. Removal and disposal of signal pole and mast arm, $4,000. Removal and disposal of signal on span wire, $6,800. Removal and disposal of cabinet, $2,500. Removal and disposal of existing stop signs, $250. Signal pole plus the arm to install excluding material, $10,000. Signal span wire install excluding material, $35,000. New signal pole with the mast arm with material included, $38,000. New signal on span wire installation including material, $95,000. New stop sign installation with post, $500. Traffic signal pole reset, $6,500. Traffic cabinet reset, $2,500. Stop sign reset, $300. And then we have an extra work line item of $75,000. So these are all unit rates for specific things within a signalized intersection. We'll take these unit prices to establish which locations, if the prices are found to be true and correct, for work in 2025.
So, question.
Yes.
Out of those itemized listing, there were certain things that I thought I heard that weren't relative to electrical maintenance work.
Yeah.
Stop signs install. Are those things saying we're committing to do that with them, or they are?
No, this isn't. So we can pick and choose which items we want to move forward with.
Okay.
This was just put in there just to see what it will cost for vendors to do it in the case that we can't.
Okay.
So we don't have to move forward with all of them or any, but this is just what it would cost if we were to have Midwestern do this work.
I have a question also. What is a stop sign reset? Is that a replacement of a stop sign?
It's taking a stop sign from one location and then installing another.
Okay.
So it could be within that same intersection or somewhere across the other side of the city.
And what was the reset price?
It's 1,000 something.
For stop signs, it's $300.
The reset?
The reset.
Yeah,
And
the
what was
reset.
the replacement?
500.
Okay. you had no more submissions.
No, this is the only one that we got, and it was from Midwestern Electric. And I believe for this one, we sent out the following contractors requested bid documents: Midwestern, Glim, Great Lakes, and that's it.
Thank you.
That concludes correspondence from the engineering department. I'm also seeing that we had another item in our packet. New business, okay, I'll wait then.
Okay, so let's move on to item number 6 on our agenda, unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business that needs to go before the board? Hearing none, let's move to item number 7, new business.
With new business, we have a resignation letter from the fire department. We have a disability retirement notice for firefighter Douglas Typo. The memorandum reads, we respectfully submit the disability retirement notice of firefighter Typo. Firefighter Typo began his employment as a firefighter for the city of Gary September 4th, 2002, totaling 22 years and 2 months of service. He is retiring from his position effective November 8th, 2024. And then attaches a copy of the retirement notice. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the resignation of firefighter Douglas Typo.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second that we accept/approve the retirement, disability retirement of firefighter Douglas Tippold after serving 22 years and 2 months with the City of Gary Fire Department. Any discussion on the motion?
We thank him very much for his service and for his sacrifice to protect the people of Gary. And we hope he has a healthy and long retirement. So,
Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations and thank you for your service, firefighter Douglas Tippold. At this point, I would like to know, do we have any public comments in queue?
No.
I'm noticing on the public comment sheet here in the room, I have no signatures, but I'd like to open the floor if there's anyone here that would like to speak before the board. Seeing no acceptance of that offer, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your attendance. Appreciate you being here.